Wow.
Hello and welcome to Knights of
Wow.
Eveningstar. I got a very short intro this week. I got a very short countdown. It was just go time. So here we are. We're going to play some Dungeons and Dragons. I'm your Dungeon Master, Mark SherlockHulmes. We're here for Knights of Eveningstar, and I'm joined by these four wonderful people. I have here Horse Girl, Mica Burton, Cheer Captain, Anna Prosser, Bad Boy, Nate Sharp, and Teacher's Pet, ShadyPenguinn.
Oh my
gosh. Did you just high school AU us? Because
you guys were making fun of Shady for being the teacher's pet, and I was like, I need an intro this week. Teacher's pet,
that makes sense,
ShadyPenguinn.
right? Shady's getting made fun of behind the scenes, so let's bring it out, and let's not have the DM defend poor Shady. I understand.
Oh my God, this is such teacher's pet attitude. The second the teacher says something bad about you in class, then you pitch a hissy fit because you've always been the loved one. He's playing into the stereotype,
I
ladies
thought
and
someone
gentlemen.
else was my teacher in the previous discussion, but whatever. You know what? It's not a big deal.
Yeah, in the previous discussion, somebody else was the teacher. I don't want to be the teacher. I don't want to be dad. I don't want to be teacher. I don't want any of that. I'm, the
Principal
nerd at the back.
Hulmes.
Oh God, I definitely wouldn't be the principal. Drama teacher maybe, but not the principal.
Just to keep things fair, my title in high school was not Bad Boy. It was who?
Is that for a lack of attendance or just you faded invisibly into the background, Nate?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, good. Yes, the answer is yes. Well, moving on from the high school AU, welcome. We are here to play some Dungeons and Dragons. You're on Knights of Eveningstar if it's your first time checking out Knights of Eveningstar, because today you might have just recently started our season 3. You might have just jumped in last week with season 3. If you're brand new, the party are all nobles or war wizards or military advisors for the small little kingdom of, not quite kingdom, land of Eveningstar in the nation of Cormyr, which is part of the Forgotten Realms. And yeah, it's all about building up the town. Specifically, though, the beginning of this season is a little bit different. I've got a little recap for you. But is everybody good? Is everybody ready to jump in and play some D&D?
I just finished organizing my dice. Yes.
That's a good sign. Thumbs
I'm
up
going to
all
say
round.
the opposite of what a teacher's pet says, which I don't know what that is. So yes, I'll play.
Yes, I'll play. Good.
Shady has been trying for the last 20 minutes to come up with things that a bad kid would say. And every time he gets to the point, he's like, I would do something a bad kid would do.
I got nothing.
He can't. He just can't. He's too wholesome. He's too sweet. He's too lovely.
pure.
That's the problem. Too pure.
It's not a problem. It's why we love you, Shady.
It's true.
That's it. I'm going to 4chan to find some bad stuff. I don't know.
No.
Don't go there.
Too bad. Too bad.
Come
back.
Get out.
Look, a
You're
window.
done. Yeah. Well, to move very swiftly on, last time on Knights of Eveningstar, having returned from the shadowy castle Breywinter and their adventure into the Shadowfell, the party have taken some time to unwind and de-stress from all of the recent events since establishing themselves in Eveningstar. Agnes's father, Tarkhal Crownsilver, sent her a letter with an accompanying enchanted book, which the group discovered was a religious text of the goddess Sunni and focused on beauty, love, and self-worth. When certain things were said, the book offered to open a way to the Temple of the Restful Lilly. Gladly accepting, the party stepped through and found a beautiful and serene day spa. The receptionist, a dark-haired young man named Saeth, welcomed them all inside and listed the facilities and treatments available to them, to which many of the party, along with Blade Captain Alyssa, have accepted. With a pedicure for Clive, a massage for Tarkhal, and Agnis and Azara enjoying the heated baths, there are still many delights here at the temple to discover. And yeah, that is pretty much where we jump in. I believe that the very last thing that had happened last week was Clive had encountered a young halfling woman covered in scars and sort of acting in a way that seemed out of place with the spa, and sat down next to her, and she offered to purchase or pay for a lovely pedicure for Clive. And the resulting nail painting that has been done is a beautiful rose pink gold with elven script in gold across each nail, reciting an elvish love poem. Beautiful. Wonderful. Tarkhal has had a massage, a dexterity-focused massage in particular, of winter olive with white sage, apparently, that has given him supple muscles and reflexes. And Agnis and Azara are currently located in the lovely hot baths. And that's where we begin. Does anybody have anything? Any immediate? Does anybody have a preference for where we start? As you are currently all sort of divided.
I think if my massage had just finished, Tarkhal would, end up coming out feeling very dexterous, and he'd look for Clive.
Sure. It's not too hard. So where you exit from the massage tables and parlors, first of all, the young drow who had been administering the massage sort of kind of carefully sort of looks you over and just says, well, I hope that you are pleased with your treatment here.
Yes. No, thank you. I feel great. And can I tip them a gold?
Yeah.
Okay.
The drow sort of hands out their palm when you begin rummaging around for coin and takes it and kind of smiles. Very kind of you. Thank you, sir. Do you intend on staying here overnight at the temple, or will you be returning to your homeland?
Well, I can't imagine my friends will want to leave once they've experienced some of this. So I think we'll be spending the night.
Oh, good to know. He just smiles and sort of gestures to the door. And when you leave, the kind of pedicure station, this long table with these seats on either side, is almost immediately on your right when you exit the chamber. You see Clive sat down, chatting away to this halfling woman, and yeah, you can see that he's, this one of the attendants of the temple, the spa, is delicately painting his long leonine claws as you kind of step out. For Clive, the halfling woman who's been beside you, she introduced herself as Sanamin Sunfoot is her name. And in part of the conversation, she revealed that she is a mercenary, or a knight, technically, with a mercenary group called the Flaming Fist, who operate out of Waterdeep and Neverwinter. And she's currently she plonks up on the table. She's like, "Yeah, this is why I'm here." And she brings her foot out, and her foot is covered in a cast, she's broken her foot or a leg. And she kind of dumps it sort of like on a chair in front of you, just like, I got injured in a battle a couple of days ago, and my family paid for me to come to this place, but it's so boring.
It's not enough combat and training that I was told there would be.
I mean, not even just combat. There's just not, where's the fun? Where's the fighting? Where's the drinking? Where's the getting too drunk? Where's, it's just all calm and pretty and just boring.
I heard there's some wild spirits in a pool somewhere that need dealing with. They said to wait to hear back, but I kind of don't want to.
Oh, really? I can't go anywhere near the baths with this stupid thing on my foot. I'm not supposed to take it off for another week. Oh, and why'd you have to tell me that, Clive? And she just seems to get agitated. And that's probably where Tarkhal then enters, and you hear the doors open and Tarkhal emerges.
Clive, what have you been getting up to? And I guess I'll see your nails. Oh,
I've been gifted these claw enhancements.
Well, that's convenient, because I wanted to challenge you to another arm wrestling match. 2 out of 3.
All right, it's on, lad.
Yeah, this table's perfect. Like, you kind of shuffle down a little bit.
I'm assuming if there's stuff on the table, Clive will just clear it off.
So you do that, like, yeah, the 2 assistants don't bother stopping you. They just watch you, and you've never seen a pair of individuals. They're 2 humans. They just sort of let out a long sigh, and their faces just look really unamused, but they just watch all of, like, their things get scattered all over the place. A couple of the little potions bottles break. They just kind of... And then they just turn and start clearing it up and picking it up and putting it back in place. Seemingly like no violence or anger or they don't say anything. They just start silently picking it up. The halfling woman is just like, yeah, man, I was hoping that you guys would go again. I was going to challenge one of you if you didn't. And she's just like, yeah, I'll take on whoever wins. And she's like eagerly looking at the 2 of you.
Nice.
Yeah.
Strength checks?
Yes. So you can certainly, if you want to, Tarkhal, you can try and use your improved suppleness to try and maybe use your dexterity. Maybe, I don't know, somehow use like the leverage or something like that.
I was hoping you'd say that.
So there you go, Clive. Make a just a straight up strength and a straight up dex, but you have advantage, Tarkhal.
Strength or athletics?
Just strength. We'll say this is pure strength now, because this is like athletics is more like climbing and specific things. So this is just a straight up strength v dex on this one.
My total is a 27.
That would be a 16.
16. Okay. Just dex though, Shady. Just dex.
Yeah. Oh wait. I'm using a saving throw. I'm sorry. Yep. So it's not a 27. It is a 23.
Yeah, it's still going to be ridiculous.
Rolled a 19.
It's still going to be ridiculously high. Yeah, this time, as you guys are fighting over it, Clive, you're surprised at how quickly Tarkhal manages to get you on the defensive. We'll do it like we did last time, where you've got to do at least 2 checks to win. So yeah, he's using like a weird grip, and he's all like oily, so like it's hard to like get a real grip on him, and you're like your hands slipping all over the place, your elbows slipping all over.
We didn't say we're doing custom rules.
This is the massage. I thought your nails were going to help you.
Hey.
I rolled 21.
They look very nice.
They definitely do.
That's a 17.
Versus, what'd you get?
I rolled 21.
21. So Tarkhal manages, through a mixture of like slipperiness and the angle at which he's kind of pressing you down, his joints almost seem like double jointed. He actually manages to pin your arm down, Clive, and he takes the round. He takes it fully.
Rematch. Right now.
I was not expecting that.
Are Clive's nails okay? I mean, fresh manicure going into an arm wrestle.
Well, these are slightly mystical. These are slightly, magical, not quite full on, enchanted, but there's definitely some sort of magic in the mixture to them. So I think that they are rock hard. Like they don't break when they touch it or anything like that.
2 out of 3.
Do you want to get a massage first?
No, right now, lad.
Oh, okay.
All right, cool. I'm gonna rage.
All right, roll for your wild effect.
All right. Do. Okay, that is. I always forget to have this at the ready. Barbarian, wild, magic, table. Come on. What is a 7? Come on. Load up. There we go. Table. 2. Okay, cool. So now stuff. There we go. Okay. Flowers and vines temporarily grow around you.
Okay, well, that's not too bad. That doesn't cause too much destruction. The flowers and vines kind of, there's like wooden trellises and parts of there are flowers around nearby, like in little wall sconces and things like that. And they just begin blooming and overgrowing at an alarming rate. Sanamin, the dwarf, kind of hops away on like her 1 foot and like drags herself to the end of the table, like, whoa, what is that? And she's like looking around as Clive's glowing with multicolored magic. And he's just there with his arm ready, Tarkhal. But yeah, you both have advantage, so you can both make your check.
So with advantage, doesn't matter because I rolled a 6 both times. So totaling 10.
10?
17 again was my high one, so 21.
21. Okay, so Clive, again, Tarkhal, you're pulling all of this strength in, but there's something about the way that he's holding his wrist and his arm that's kind of keeping you from being able to fully knock him down. And he's actually kind of pressing you in these moments where you're like pausing for your strength.
I have a question. I think Tarkhal would end up feeling cocky, and he would he would just want to use his strength now.
Okay,
like he'd kind of reverse his grip.
That's your choice.
I really hope it backfires.
No advantage.
No advantage.
Just straight strength.
It was 17 total this time.
This is 21 total.
21. Okay, so Clive, you managed to wrestle it back into the middle as this now, you can feel that, Tarkhal adjusts his grip. He kind of like angles himself, so now it's just a strength contest, and you immediately start pulling back in, and you begin pushing Tarkhal's arm back up. So one more roll, or see how this goes.
All right, so now can I change back to Dex, realizing like, oh no, you can't beat this man?
I think at this point, no. Good. Now that you've started losing that advantage, right? You gave up this kind of weird technique you were using, and it's hard to get back into position now.
Total of 21. 18
14.
plus 3.
14. This time now it's you can see Tarkhal focusing, his muscles straining and stretching. He's probably not going to be able to keep this up as long as Clive could, because Clive is used to, just having natural strength for longer. But Tarkhal's putting his all in to fight back, and he pushes you back down on the defensive. Got to go for another roll.
Oh, because you have to. That's right. No, that's a 13.
Okay, that is a 23.
Okay, so it goes back into the middle, but this time I'm going to have you both make a Constitution saving throw to see who is like stamina's beginning to kind of
Ooh.
wane out.
All right.
Saving throw. Oh boy. 7.
7.
27.
Okay, so Tarkhal, you're going to be at disadvantage on this next one. Is like you put all you could into that last thing, and now it's you're starting to your arms really beginning to ache. You can feel sweat running down you.
Aye.
Oh, well, that's going to be a 6 total. And then a crit. Disadvantage, Mark.
Yeah, yeah.
That is
Like I said-
a 17.
So now Clive fully manages to bring your arm down. I think because you guys were tied.
Yeah.
No, so yeah, so that was the victory one, wasn't
Yep.
it? I'm trying to
Yeah.
keep it in my head. Yeah, Clive manages to and touch your arm down to the thing, and you feel like this ache all down your arm now.
Clive of the Wild Man.
Clive of the Wild Mane.
Clive of the Wild. So you're a minute man, lad. Don't have the stamina.
Whilst you guys are doing that, and I'll leave it on Clive's put down as we just see Tarkhal kind of, face react to that line. Agnis and Azara, the beautiful Roman-esque baths, this hot spring that you have been in for a little bit now, a couple, not too long, a few minutes maybe at this point, when you first kind of got in here. Agnis kind of having heated a section of the pool a bit hotter. The steam rises up, it clouds these tall, beautiful stained glass windows that look out onto the elven forest behind it, kind of thing. You can see some sort of other structure, semi-blurred, but the steam rises up. You feel that the waters here, there is definitely something magical about the waters here. At your choice, you can choose to not allow this, but things like scars will fade in this water. So any kind of lingering scars will easily fade in this water. Your skin will also appear more youthful. So it will kind of like wash away sort of any signs of age or wrinkles or anything like that. And just a general calm, a general sense of serenity definitely kind of overcomes you after spending even just a short time in these hot springs.
Agnis will totally let it melt all the scars off. She's very excited about this skin treatment.
Yeah, same with Azara. She definitely has some unsightly scars that she's excited to see fading.
Yeah.
I imagine they're having that, like, oh my gosh, look, there was this really deep scar right here, and now it's like totally faded, and like, oh my gosh, I didn't even notice that mark that had been on my arm forever, it's totally gone.
I think Azara will be like, oh my god, like realizing that her crow's feet are leaving, and she's like looking into assuming there are reflective surfaces somewhere, and she's just gasping. And
the tiles of the bath are enough that they're polished so brightly that you can look into those. The water itself, where it's undisturbed, you can look down, and there is, perfectly.
I also think that eventually Azara would get out of the hot waters and kind of lay on the little lounges that are there, and just kind of just take a deep breath and just close her eyes for a bit and kind of start humming to herself, just never really feeling this serene before.
Agnis is going to stay in the water.
Sure. Yeah, there is this deep sense of comfort. The water never seems to become too hot, even though you're heating Agnis. It seems to remain at whatever kind of temperature is what you want, what you desire, as it flows through. And there's this deep sense of serenity. Nobody else seems to come in to the baths. I think you guys kind of are in here alone for at least some time. You have sort of 5, 10, maybe 15 minutes before anybody else shows up, really. There is like faint music that kind of seems to be coming from just somewhere in the chamber, magically created, you think, like a very soft female voice singing.
Didn't Agnis had like a consultation plan for after this, right?
You have asked for them you have asked for them to come and speak to you about these special treatments that they call them. But you didn't have any details of when exactly that would be. You just kind of said like you'd like to speak to them about it, and they said they'd come and find you.
Agnis just entertains herself by taking the water with little like fire bursts and like bubbling it, like sinking into the water.
Okay. Well, if there's nothing else, you guys have a wonderful time just chilling here, basically, and it's up to you when you would like to head back.
Well, I know Azara's waiting for a massage, right? She booked a
Yeah, that would be in the other room. So you go back
okay.
to the lounge for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you're good
I think
and
after
done,
a
you go back
while,
to the lounge.
she'll just head back.
Sure. Okay.
Agnes will follow her, but like I imagine Azara is just like gets out of the water, flips the water out of her hair, and just like struts around. Agnes like kind of climbs out and like grabs a towel and like covers up and is like and like follows Azara, trying not to draw attention to herself.
Sure. You guys make your way back. It's a short journey back into the lounge. Whilst you guys were gone, Tarkhal and Clive, the sound of the kind of manicure things being broken, the overgrowing vines, Clive's kind of loud proclamation of victory has drawn the attention of a couple of other characters in the lounge. So you saw that there was a young half-elf looking man, quite nondescript, didn't particularly stand out, but was just reading a book and is now sort of kind of casting an annoyed look in the direction, not saying anything, but just kind of watching what's going on. A couple more of the attendants are clearing everything up. Several of them start trying to clip away the overgrowing flowers and vines that have been appearing around Clive. They just silently try and cut those away. But emerging from behind a small room to the side of where the bar is, two new figures technically arrive. The first appears to be a wood elf woman. She's dressed all in sort of greens and browns, very slender, draped cloth, very rugged fur braces, that sort of thing. Looks, a very typical wood elf would look. But this one wears a veil over her eyes. She has long green hair, and she wears a kind of golden circlet with a veil that completely covers her eyes. And she has a very ornately carved stick in one hand, and in the other she has a leather leash, which is attached to a large mastiff, like a bloodhound. And the dog is kind of leading her around, and she's kind of tapping around. And when she emerges, she just sort of in a very soft voice kind of calls out, just like, "Is everything all right? I heard some smashing and some broken bottles. Are there any troubles here?" And she kind of looks around, and the dog is kind of looking in your direction, Clive. Kind of barks and makes like a, "Oh."
Nope.
And Tarkhal's just hanging his head, rubbing his neck. No problems here.
Well, the staff will clear up any mess that there was, but and she kind of is, "Come, Morty, take me to them." And the dog sort of leads her along, and she kind of taps along with her stick. And eventually, kind of comes over and just says, "I don't recognize your voices. Are you new guests of the temple?"
Yes, we just arrived today.
Marvelous. Well, my name is Greensong. I'm one of the sisters that operates the temple here. Is there anything you need or desire? Are you hungry? I always like to make some food for our new arrivals, if possible.
Always.
Yes, we could eat.
Yes, of course. Let me go and fetch you something. And please, any sort of mess or matters... Can I smell, is that petunias and wild vine? Those, it's a strange smell. I shouldn't be able to, it's almost like the flowers are in bloom. And she's kind of, you can see that she's looking around, and she, obviously heard something, can now smell all these plants that are just swarmingly around Clive.
Hey, that would be me.
Oh, well, what a lovely fragrance. Well, come this way, sit yourselves at the bar, and I'll make you something in the kitchen. Come along. And she kind of just sort of kindly sort of turns around, and the dog leads her back towards where she just came from.
Yeah, I'll go to the bar and wait for food.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. You guys don't wait long before the wood elf woman comes back out, and she has what appears to be two thickly piled up bowls containing a sort of mixed amount of salad with all sorts of different vegetables of different shades and colors, with a sort of thick dressing, like a thick kind of oil cream dressing that's been drizzled all over it, furnished with seeds and all sorts. Wonderful. Yes, a duckweed and a henpeed salad bowl. A beautiful start to a cleansing diet and detoxification.
Tarkhal will definitely dig in, because this is like woodsy-ish, and like he's fine with plants and whatnot.
Sure. Yeah. What does Clive think?
Is this what you intend on feeding the food?
No, my dear, that is the food.
Ah, well, You like
perfect for accumulating one's gut to the detoxification and purities of the spa and the treatments that you'll receive here. It will draw out many of the poisons that you've likely acquired through city living and the like.
doesn't want to be rude, so I'm assuming there is a utensil.
Yes, there would be some sort of like a wooden sort of fork, a large wooden salad fork to consume with, but
So
it's
just, like,
dainty in
gripping
Clive's hands.
Yeah,
It's
gripping
like, you know,
it just like
yeah, and there's like a crunch. You know, you pick up a bunch of big leaves and other strange red fruits and vegetables that seem to be mixed in with it.
It's like in Beauty and the Beast, where the Beast tries to eat oatmeal.
With the tiny little spoon.
With the tiny little spoon.
Yeah. One the two of you that do eat it, I mean, it is delicious. It tastes. There's the dressing is the leaves and the vegetables have a very earthy, rooty flavor, but the dressing is surprisingly sweet and quite moreish. The more you drink it, the more you eat it, kind of thing. As you guys are finishing this food, you just hear the wood elf woman in the kitchen. You can hear pots and pans and glasses clinking away, and she's seemingly singing. Make a perception check for me.
Ooh, 22.
22.
9.
9. Clive, you're too busy trying to figure out how this tiny fork works and why you're eating the food. But to really pay attention. But Tarkhal, you catch snippets of the song, and it's strange. It's like an old nursery rhyme. You kind of hear sort of little sections of the song, like 3 little ones lost in the woods. Like there's a very unsettling essence to it. Like all fairy tale songs are, there's kind of a little bit of sinisterness to it. It basically seems to be something about 3 children that go wandering in the woods, and they meet a witch who takes them in and teaches them to be mages, but then they kill the witch and steal all of her secrets. Basically, it seems to be the vibe of the song. And it's just like one of those things that you just catch because it's very unusual. You didn't expect it, kind of thing. But Azara and Agnis, you guys make your way back into the lounge. You see this is probably where the attendants have finished kind of clearing up and have reset the manicure pedicure station. Clive and Tarkhal seem to be at the bar. A little halfling woman has kind of hobbled over and has joined them at the bar, but isn't quite tall enough to quite reach. But seems to be drinking something alcoholic next to Clive. And yeah, you guys step back in.
Azara will probably immediately notice Clive's nails and will rush up to him and gasp and be like, oh, Clive, those are beautiful.
Well, thank you.
And you chose this yourself? And Azara's like grinning from ear to ear.
No, it came on recommendation.
Well, I think that this is something that you should keep forever. Don't you agree, Agnis?
Sorry, I was muted. Absolutely. That is such an improvement. And
such an improvement.
Probably is something that would give you an advantage in combat.
Always.
He does start chewing on it.
So here's the thing, Clive. When you chew on it, it's not coming off.
It wasn't really trying to chew to take it off. It was more.
Oh, right. But when you chew on it, it doesn't mar it. When you bite down, there's no scratches or marks. It keeps it perfectly hardened.
Is there a bowl of fruit nearby?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Azara will pick up an apple and just kind of hand it to Clive and hope that he picks it up with his nails to see what will happen.
Great test. And I'll take a swipe at it to see if I can cut it.
I don't think it cuts it necessarily because you can make unarmed strikes, right? You can have clawed strikes and stuff. So it doesn't make it any more effective. But they definitely are sharp enough to dig in and things like that. And the paint doesn't chip. The nails themselves have been cleaned, but not necessarily sharpened to a razor's edge or anything like that. But they don't mar. You scratch them through the fruit. As he bites down them, they stay hardened.
Azara's just like, impressive. Like picks up his paw and is like turning it over to see.
Well,
how
I
the
think
paint is.
Azara, because you speak Elvish as well, I don't think Clive does. Like the poem that's written across each of the nails in this gold font is an incredibly like soft, sensitive, very, very kind of poetic and romantic love poem about these two elven lovers and meeting at midnight and stuff like that. It's beautifully done and very eloquent and very un-Clive of the Wildmane.
Azara would keep it to herself because she doesn't want to see him take them off just in case he doesn't like it. So she's just like, they're just phenomenal. They're fantastic. And just in awe of how strong they are.
We're still at the bar?
Yeah.
What's the bar made of? What's the material?
Oh no.
It's probably made of the same white marble kind of stone.
I'm gonna dig a
It's like
nail
columns.
into it and just do a long scratch to see.
I think that, I mean, how much force is Clive putting into this?
To see what breaks first.
Okay, sure. Just roll D20 plus strength again for me. Let's just see here.
What breaks first? His finger?
Or the stone.
Right.
Well, more like, will the paint chip or will the
I know,
stone?
but I'm saying,
Yeah.
what if the paint won't chip and the stone won't give, and you push so hard?
You
The
just
finger goes
snap your
snap.
finger.
Yeah.
Well, we'll find out.
Let's see. Okay, so that is 16.
16. You push pretty damn hard and you can feel like you're trying to scratch it. The nail isn't strong enough to scratch the stone, and eventually the nail tip does snap. And it does like snaps down.
Clive!
Disappointing.
The section that is broke off Azara is obviously it's the beautiful ending of the poem. It's like the last stanza. It's just like snaps off.
I feel like Azara would gasp like Damien and Mean Girls, like the and she'll look to the one of the attendants and be like, "Is this fixable?"
The attendant sort of nods their head, although they look at Clive and then make a face and then they nod.
Azara just
gesture
kind of,
over.
Clive,
Yeah, they gesture over to the bar, the nail area.
maybe don't dig your nails into marble, and they will survive.
What's the point of this if it's not gonna be able to scratch better?
Fair point. And Azara just kind of gives a sympathetic look to the attendants.
They just shrug.
He's not gonna ask for a repair.
Just like breaks it off and throws it away.
So
Sad.
Whilst this is going on, Tarkhal, Agnis, anything? Or are you guys just chilling?
Just finishing my salad and drinking my drink.
Drinking my
Agnes is
drink?
just watching this develop. That's all.
Sure. I think Agnis would definitely notice the half-elven young man is definitely paying attention to the group of you, kind of keeping an eye on you in that way that when a group of people enter and you're on your own, you're like interested in what they're doing and what they're saying, kind of thing. It's just kind of keeping an eye on what's going on. The halfling woman is just watching this exchange with a huge grin on her face. This is the most interesting thing that's happened to her in days. So she's just loving the interaction between Azara and Clive and is kind of like laughing to herself when Clive snaps the nail and stuff like that. Eventually, you see the drow kind of emerges back from the rooms. Clive of the Wildmane, I also have Miss Azara Mithras. Mr. Clive, I believe that you were waiting previously, but you seemed willing to skip your turn. I don't know if you wish to do so again for Miss Azara.
Azara, you want to
yes?
arm wrestle for it?
You know what? You can go ahead, Clive.
Oh, there's the fun in that.
Azara will sigh and sit down and put her arm up.
Hey!
Okay, by all means. Do
Oh,
you even
God.
want to roll Mica, or do you just want to let him win?
You know what? Let Azara's gonna try once
Okay, sure.
just to see what happens, and we're doing a strength check.
It's just straight up strength. So D20 plus strength modifier.
Well, that's a 7 minus 1, so that's a 6.
That's
Six.
a dirty 20.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't even think with the Zara there's a round 2. It's just one and done. It's just
It's just a very graceful, like, boom.
Yes.
yeah.
Clive of the Wildmane.
Azara like golf
Yeah!
claps.
All right, you go first.
That's what he did to me too. Just let him have his fun.
All right. And Azara will kind of like awkwardly shuffle towards the drow.
Miss Azara, please follow me. My name is Ilmar. I will be your masseuse today.
Oh, lovely to meet you.
Ilmar leads you into one of these beautiful treatment rooms, long padded bed, instructs you in the same way that many massages and spas do, make yourself comfortable, and then they'll re-enter and begin. When they do so, and so it's just like, I have you down here for a massage which enhances personal well-being and confidence with a sort of attractive aura. This is using glittering lemon oil with mayweed and rose. Is that correct, my dear?
Absolutely. Also, side note, that sounds amazing.
Please let me know if it is too firm or too soft. I am obviously here to do so. I see that you are with Mr. Tarkhal, who I just previously treated. Are you from the same area, from Cormier?
Oh, yes, I am indeed.
And what are you a noble like Mr. Tarkhal, or?
Azara will just kind of chuckle a little bit, but it's kind of like a wry, sad chuckle. And she's like, no, just
I know that chuckle well. I'm assuming that I've made some sort of faux pas in asking. Just
no,
into the shoulders.
No faux pas. I am their war wizard. I am their magister. No noble here.
Oh, well, surely a position such as that is nobility of its sort in a way. Those who command arcane power are, well, very well respected in many places in Faerun. But you are an arcane traditionalist, I assume, rather than some sort of priest in a sense.
You could say that. I have been experimenting with finding my own personal spirituality, but it's a beginning, not an end yet. I do tend to lean towards the destructive magic, but, to each their own.
Indeed. I'm familiar with something. I knew many wizards and priestesses. Kind of stumbles at the word a little bit. You can sense that there's definitely something there. Yes, indeed. Destructive has its uses.
Yes.
Begins much anyway. Do you believe that your group intends to stay the evening?
I would think so. We've had a rough journey lately, and I think it's good for us. I think it's good for this group to spend some time away.
Well, the temple is a beautiful place, not even just here in the spa itself, but there is, I find the surroundings quite quaint in particular. The old Temple of Sunni is a bit of a sorry state, no longer really accessible. Sad to see that such a place would allow the temple of a goddess of beauty to fall into disrepair, but still, things can't be helped.
I still think I might make a trek out there to see it, if that's all right.
It is not for me to decide. I'm merely an employee, and a new one at that, I should mention. My understanding is that the old temple is sealed off. I'm not quite sure why. The owners may know. You can see it, but I don't believe you can get access to it anymore. It is quite dilapidated. I've been warned that it's dangerous to head inside, danger of it collapsing and the like.
Understandable.
But, hopefully, if you do meet the owners, you may obviously always ask them what is the condition. Just finishes off the massage. Kind of goes quiet after that. Ilmar doesn't really talk too much. Kind of focuses on the massage, but it takes some time. It takes about an hour. And yeah, you, Azara, very much get the benefits as you have advantage on persuasion and performance checks, feeling like a sense of serene and calm and confidence. Your facial expressions, your facial muscles, all relaxed and energized. Perfect for smiles and persuasions and singing and speaking, all improved by this massage.
Perfect. I think afterwards I would definitely tip them like a gold or two.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mrs. Zara.
Thank you. I feel better than I have in decades, actually.
Well, that is entirely the point of the Temple of the Restful Lilly, I believe, to make those who enter it feel better than when they arrived. Now, I must go and see if this Clive is finally willing to have the massage he's paid for.
Yes. Good luck with him. And Azara will just kind of walk back to the lounge.
Sure. Ilmar will come with you and call for Clive. Do you actually finally go this time, Clive?
Well, if there's no one else standing in my way,
There is not.
then sure.
Sure. Ilmar is not as chatty with Clive. They kind of do the same things. They, it's more casual. There's less questioning. If you ask questions, they answer, but they generally lead you inside, get you comfortable, and then, begin a very deep tissue athletic massage. But there's less talking with Clive.
Clive would probably just be talking the whole time.
But is it just like Clive just talking about like, and then there was this time that I did this, and then I killed a Greek, blah, blah, blah. And, okay. There are, Ilmar just listens and it's like, oh, how exciting. Oh, that
Great
sounds
tales
very
of the
impressive.
Holophant.
Yeah, the mighty Holophant that killed me.
My nemesis I still need a rematch with.
Interesting. You fought a celestial being, my understanding is the Holophants are servants of angels and good aligned creatures.
Oh, this Holophant was a servant of death.
Oh, well, that is something. You've lived quite the life, Mr. Wildmane. And the drow is like trying their best to like get into the deep muscles and is like using all their force. But to Clive, it probably feels like, this is, it's barely a tickle. It's just sort of like trying to get into
it's going to take more than that, lad. There's some stuff in there.
Yes, I can tell. Hang on. And then they sort of rummage around and they pull out like a kind of like long bar with two balls on the end, like iron balls, and they're like digging that into the muscle and rolling it along as best they can. But after an hour, Clive, you also have advantage. You have advantage on athletics checks with this deep tissue massage.
Who wants to claim something?
So Clive is bellowing as he leaves. Whilst Clive is having his massage done, another figure enters. The half-elven man departs. The one that was watching you while reading his book, he departs for the baths. Sanamin just enjoys more drinks, and you can see she's slowly getting drunker and drunker. But eventually, coming in from the way that you entered, from the spa's entrance, a moon elf arrives. Moon elf, very pale blue skin, almost grayish, but very pale blue, long, straight black hair, dressed in blues and silvers, quite tall, probably about 6 feet, very slender, beautiful makeup and almost bright red lips, like this very deep red lipstick on her lips and flawless eye makeup, kind of enters and looks around and smiles at everyone. I hope that everyone is everyone enjoying themselves. How are you, my dear? She goes up and is like speaking to a few other people, and then makes way. You must be our new arrivals. Welcome, my dears. Welcome to the Temple of the Restful Lilly. How are you all? How has your stay been so far?
Very nice, thank you. I'm Agnis. And your name?
I am Morgana. I'm one of the three sisters that own the Temple of the Restful Lilly. And you, Agnis, Saith spoke to me and mentioned that you wish to discuss some potential treatments.
Yes, she kind of like looks around, clearly not wanting to say anything in front of anyone.
And Morgana is just, she kind of says, this like, you're in fact the one I came to see. If you'd like, we can go to, we have a private section where we can discuss these matters, or we can go for a walk outside, whatever you would prefer. We have a garden nearby if you wish to speak there.
Oh, I'd love to see a garden.
Of course, my dear. Well, if any of you need anything else, please just let our staff know whatever you need. Speak to Saith if you'd like to book any additional appointments. I believe that it is getting a little late if you wish to stay. We have plenty of lovely rooms, all lovingly prepared by our staff here for you. Please, just let us know however we can help. And she just sort of smiles around at everybody. To a murmur of sort of like responses from the other guests. And then she gestures to Agnes like, well, come, my dear. And she just sort of offers to lead you out.
I follow.
Okay. Morgana leads you out back into the lobby and then opposite the lounge through another set of double doors and out into an open garden. You can see that the garden has a few trees, with pink little cherry blossoms, stone benches, beautiful kind of flower beds of wildflowers. It does look like there's been some exercise equipment that's been scattered here, but nobody's been using it. When Morgana sees it, she's just like, ugh. Sister, you really must learn to clean up after yourself when you're done using the garden. Now, she smiles. Come, my dear, let's take a seat as twilight begins to set in. It's one of my favorite times, just as the sun begins to set, it begins to press through the grove. Now,
It is
you
very
mentioned
pretty.
some of our personal treatments. How much has Saith mentioned? And do you have anything that you are looking for in particular?
Well, the book the book that we had.
Yes, the enchanted book, The Price of Beauty. Several of our guests arrive through this means. They are quite rare these days, but yes, I'm familiar with it.
Well, it mentioned that you could maybe help with changing things about a person's appearance permanently. So
Yes.
I was just, I mean, is that like you could change anything? Like, say if someone maybe had been told by the public or ridiculed by the public for their elbows being really pointy, you could like maybe not, you could make their elbows a little less pointy.
My dear Agnes, yes, of course we can. Of course. My sisters and I, we've discovered various enchantments and rituals, things that can be done to, well, do more than just fix pointy elbows. And she looks down, and she does sort of like, she kind of offers her hands as if to take your arm to like take a look at them, basically. And then she kind of rolls looks up, and she's just like, yes, we can definitely fix this. Nothing there that can't be adjusted to.
Well, like there's like this tendon in my neck that kind of like pops out when I talk.
Yes,
like maybe
I can see
you could,
that.
yeah, and people notice it, and it's just, and
yes, it does stick
also
out.
my ankles, they're kind of like too high. Have you noticed they're kind of too high?
My dear Agnes, there are many things that we can do much. I can see that, forgive me, but you seem to be someone, are you in a position of authority? Are you in a position of people having to look up to you?
Yeah, and I mean, these things clearly don't matter, obviously. And
well,
someone like me shouldn't really think about such things, but just since just curious, since we're here.
Oh, my dear, I have to disagree with you. I think that it is people that are in the spotlight who must be concerned with how they look the most. You're not just an example, but also, what does it say about you? If you don't look your best, if you are not glamorous, if you are not special, what does that say about the people that you work with or the organizations that you represent? I think that how a person presents themselves is deeply, deeply important. And there are always things that we can change and fix about ourselves, aren't there? Look at this nose, for example. We could definitely slim this down, and these cheeks, and yes, and this hair, it's very wild and full. There's some beauty there, but it needs adjustment. Agnes, there are many things that we could do here, things that could make you more charismatic, more appealing to the people around you. That's easily done. Anything that you want to change about yourselves, we can do.
But is it really expensive? Because I don't want to, I don't want to spend gold that could be used to help people,
Normally, my sisters and we normally discuss a fee, but I think that with you, I can see that there, forgive me, I can see that there is so much untapped beauty within you, just hiding under these little rough edges that we just need to smooth out.
You really think my nose is, it's too curvy, isn't it? It's too curvy.
I mean, you've seen it. You clearly know. You've seen it for yourself.
You pointed
but these are things that can be changed. These are things that can be improved so easily. Now, normally we would charge, but how about you and I discuss a bit of a deal? You're clearly somebody in a position of influence, and it's always good to have people that can recommend the temple services in such a position. How about this? The enchantments are permanent, but you do need to keep them up, my dear. You will need to return to us in a time to make sure that they're staying their best. But how about this? I can at least make sure that we create these transformations for a year, and we won't take anything. And then when you come back to us for further treatments, then we'll discuss additional payments and prices and the sorts of things. But how about we trial it out, see how you feel with it all for a year.
And after a year, will it just wear off? Or
Well, there may be some slow fading, but if you come back, we can make sure that changes. But these enchantments and rituals, we'll get to the fine print. I'll bring my sisters in, and we can form up a sort of agreement, as it were, and we can make sure that we all go over it, and also get my sisters' opinions on things that we could improve or change. But it's certainly possible.
When it wears off, would I go back to how I am now?
You would slowly over time, but that's all right. We can just top that up, can't we? We can just give you a little extra boost. And the more of these that we do, the more treatments that receive, the longer the treatment should last.
And you just want me to tell people about this place?
Well, let's just say that, well, let's just call it that in a year's time, we'll figure something out. You know, you can owe us a favor. How about that?
All right.
Right. Well, I'll need to get the preparations, and we'll need to have some discussions with my sisters. But so if you'd be willing to stay the night, I would be more than happy to waive our usual room fee for you and your companions, and then you can stay the night, and then tomorrow we'll bring you in for a full consultation. We can begin working on your transformation. How about that?
You're so nice. Thank you so much. She takes her hand. She's like, I
You're
just really appreciate
welcome.
this.
Yeah, her hands, like when you take her hands, there's it's getting evening. They're a little bit cold, but she kind of takes them and smiles, and she's just like, "You are most welcome, my dear. You are most welcome. We'll fix this." And she kind of brushes the hair out of your face, like, "Yes, there's so much here that we can work with, and we're going to make you a shining example of beauty. You'll be the envy of every young man and woman wherever you go. I'm sure we can make you stand out, shine like a diamond."
That would be nice.
Of course it would. And she kind of brushes your hair away, just like, oh, look at that. Well, we'll get you all shined up, and soon you will go return to your friends. I'll have some rooms prepared for you. I'll inform Seth that you'll be staying with us this evening, and tomorrow we can set about getting this transformation underway. How about that?
And you won't mention any of that to my friends.
Try it. I see you are a client of ours, my dear, and your business is your business with us. We will keep it absolutely quiet.
Thanks
Not a
so
word
much.
will be breathed. All right?
All right.
In fact, you can always just tell your friends that you've negotiated to stay the night here with me, and that's what we were discussing.
Okay.
Very good. Well, lovely. Let's see you back to your friends then. And she kind of walks with you back to the lounge. And then she's just like, now, I will speak with Seth, and I will see you bright and early in the morning. We'll come and fetch you and take you over to our studio.
Thank you very much. Everyone, we're staying the night on the house.
On the house? That's great.
Aren't they kind? I like this place.
There's beds on the roof.
No,
You can sleep on the roof, yes.
Oh, sounds lovely. View of the stairs. Are there
The
stairs?
There will be stairs up to the roof,
Oh,
I guess.
stairs. In the
Yeah,
sky.
stairs.
I don't think you're understanding what I'm saying. I think we have a miscommunication.
Oh.
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 Yeah.
Right. Well,
You guys there's still maybe a couple of hours before evening fully hits. You know, the sun is going down, so you still have plenty of time if there is anything else you would like to have done or do. But this is also just a time, you know, the lounge is quite quiet. This is also just a chance to sit and relax, discuss, talk with each other, do whatever you guys want to do. You got a bit of time.
I think Azara would walk up to Agnes, say, Agnes,
Mhm.
I heard that there was a temple just on the grounds here, probably past the gardens, and I was wondering if you'd maybe want to take a walk with me and see it.
Sure. Sounds
Wonderful.
nice.
I just walk with her out the front door, kind of
Okay.
just start wandering.
Yeah, sure. Do Tarkhal and Clive want to follow, or are you guys going to stay indoors?
Well, is it too late for me to go in the hot springs now?
No,
'Cause
not at all.
don't
They
RP
stay
me,
open.
but I think Tarkhal
They-
wants to just go and relax in the pools.
Yeah, they stay open the whole time. Interesting. What about Clive?
if Tarkhal's going, then Clive's like, I'll join you. Have some relaxing time together.
Even more interesting. Big
It'll be
lion in
serene.
the bath.
Nice and calm for you, lad.
Yes, nice and calm.
Sure.
Touch my ear.
Well, in fact, yeah, you guys make your way down the same process. You go past the massage room that you went earlier, and then there is a set of double doors. When you open it, yeah, there is this big kind of like plume of steam that rises up, and yeah, you find yourselves in these beautiful kind of Greco-Roman white marble columned steaming hot springs with these deep baths. There are these statues of this beautiful fiery haired woman, Sunni, the goddess, that stand ready with mirrors and sort of things at the ready. There are little kind of stone benches with towels all laid out, and yeah, you guys are welcome to step in. Clive, the whole place is mainly just a giant pool of water with a couple of like benches and chairs around the edges. Yep. I don't know how Clive feels about water, but
Clive's gonna cannonball.
There you go, boom. So he kind of runs in, and this giant kind of like splashes everywhere. There is a kind of annoyed like as you look over that the half-elven man who had left earlier is in the corner and has just been drenched, and his book is sopping wet. And he just looks over. Sir, what do you think you're doing? You've ruined my book.
Relaxing. Easing the tension. It's a nice book you got there. What you reading, lad?
It was a nice book, and you just see that like all the ink's beginning to run. He just throws it to the side with a wet flop and just says, doesn't matter now. Enjoy your bath, sir. And he just picks up a towel, wraps it around, kind of casts an eye at Tarkhal, and then leaves.
Oh, it's awfully nice of him to have him give us the bath then, ain't it, Tarkhal?
Yeah, it's real nice of him. And then Tarkhal will step in the water as well.
Two questions for Tarkhal. One, did you leave all of your equipment in the trunk, or do you have the brooch that Willow-san gave you? Because I imagine you would have stored it with your gear, but
yeah, I do think that I would have just left it on my cape. I wouldn't have given a second thought. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. When you enter the bath, you and Clive, Clive's kind of reckless behavior definitely has displaced the water. It's a strange sense, Tarkhal. There's almost like a little touch, like something in your body, almost like you can kind of feel that there's something not quite right with the water. It's like the water doesn't like you being here.
And I can literally sense that.
It's like a weird feeling, right? You know, like you walk into a room and you just get a weird vibe, you know?
Yeah. Like when you log on for D&D and then you feel like the teacher's pet. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly that.
Like that. Okay.
You just feel a bit uncomfortable. Like, yeah, it's weird. Like, you swear that the water is almost trying to kind of splash you, or like it's colder than it should be. Like, it's very strange. It's a very strange sensation. But that's it. It's just like a weird feeling. And then after a bit of time, that seems to fade and go, and it just seems like a normal bath. But yeah, it's just like a weird moment that when you first stepped into it. Almost like the water had a mind of its own, almost. And you get that it's the reason that you get that sense, the reason I'm calling it out for Tarkhal specifically, is it's a similar feeling to when you've worn the brooch and you've channeled some of the magic in it and stuff like that. There's almost like it's almost that kind of same feeling of like channeling magic when you've used the brooch and things like that. It's very odd.
Okay.
But other than that, the bath time is a wonderful treat. Once again, any scars that you have on your body, you can willingly keep them. Like, you can kind of almost become mentally aware that the water will fade them away, and you can choose to keep them, or it will clean them away. It almost like softens them, makes them slowly vanish, makes your skin appear more youthful. For Clive, your hair becomes more luscious and thick. You know, your mane becomes denser and more majestic, brighter in sheen and shimmer.
Tarkhal wouldn't let the water do anything to him besides relax him.
Okay, sure. So yeah, any of the cleansing or youthful appearance doesn't affect Tarkhal.
Probably the same thing.
Okay, yeah. Well, in that case, it's just a lovely hot bath. Beautiful. Azara and Agnis, you guys make your way out when you go to step outside, Saith is in the kind of reception area. He's just like, oh, ladies, if you are enjoying a walk, obviously this is a glade, but it is still a woodland. I would advise you not to go too far. Obviously, you're safe within these walls, but we can't help you if you do wander too far into the woods. There may be all sorts of creatures out there, I'm afraid. So please do stay safe. We don't want any harm coming to our guests.
We will take care. And the Temple of Sunni, is that?
Yeah, the Temple of Sunni. Yes, it's kind of a bit of a tragic. It's a bit of a tragic story, really. I don't want to put you off. That's the only thing. I mean, it is sort of beautiful still in a way, like looking on the ruin of something that was once beautiful, but there's a bit of a tragic story to it. I'm not really sure if I should say.
What is the story?
Well, I mentioned briefly before that the three sisters that currently run the temple, they weren't the original builders. There was an elven woman, Silvari. She was a priestess of Sunni. She was a very generous woman. She built this temple over a magical spring in order to bring beauty and light to many others, the story goes. But she was sort of she was a bit homely, a bit plain in her own appearance. And she was always somewhat resentful to her goddess. She could bestow others with great beauty. She could help them discover beauty within themselves, but she couldn't find it for herself. And as the temple grew more popular and as more people came to visit the springs and the spa, it's said that something broke inside her. She went mad, killed a number of the other acolytes one night, and then fled down into the basement of the temple. A great scream echoed through the night. The mirrors of the temple shattered into millions of pieces. Well, people were so afraid. They came by and Silvari was nowhere to be found. But people began saying reports of a spirit that would come and hassle those that ventured too close. The temple had to be boarded up, sealed away. The sisters have used some of their magic to seal it off, make sure that nobody enters it falsely, because there are some awful, quite gruesome stories of those who wander inside. They say Silvari's still trying to punish those that she believes more beautiful than she. Quite a tragic thing. So, by all means, go and look at it from afar, but please, even if the stories aren't true, the place is dilapidated, the walls are caving in, who knows what might happen if you head inside, but do take care.
Well, nothing like a good ghost story before we take a walk. Hey, Agnes?
I have had enough ghosts in recent times, but yes, I think some ruins will still be fun.
Absolutely.
Well,
Azara will kind of head out.
If you may, please don't stay too long. If there's any sort of trouble, do just yell. I will come running immediately. Please.
Agnes is like amused by this guy thinking that he can protect them better than they can. She's like, oh, yeah. Yes, of course.
Same with Azara.
Yes, call for help.
Sure. Yeah, you guys make your way out, I guess. I'm assuming you would like to go and check out the temple.
Yeah.
I've got to find it on my own thing.
As they're walking.
My own adventure. I've got to find the notes. There it is.
As they're walking, Azara would also be like, Agnes, do you think that maybe not after every mission, but some missions we could return here?
I mean, if you like it, then of course. I mean, whatever keeps you at your best is good for the kingdom.
And whatever keeps you at your best is good for the kingdom.
I liked the baths, and I'm sure I could find some other services here that might be nice, ongoing.
And the untapped potential in at least the manicure and pedicure station, we have to investigate. Right. Right.
Yeah. Do you know when you had that book and you asked it about changing your eyes? Do you think that's something that you would want to do, or were you just curious?
Azara kind of sighs, and she kind of lets her walls down a little bit more, and she's like, if we're being honest, I feel like I've known you for long enough now. There's a lot of things about me that I'd change.
Really? But you're so you.
Agnes, me is as a front that all war wizards and people in my position must put on. Me is a guarantee that you get gold and alliances and offers for hands in marriage and protection. Me is just an elf. Thankfully blessed with powers, but I'm just an elf. Would I like gold eyes? Of course. Would I like, I don't know. Sometimes I wish I could get rid of my scales. I get stared at. Sometimes I wish I didn't stand out as much. But we are who we are, and the gods have willed it to be so.
I never thought about the gods in all of that.
But I'm just one person, Agnes. I think if it were possible, maybe a few superficial things here and there I would change, but I think I am here with you walking through this glade today because of the choices I've made and the person who I am. And I'd like to think that you are happy that you're here with your brother and with me and even with Clive because of who you are.
Yeah, but, having different colored eyes probably wouldn't change that too much, don't you think?
Oh, no, absolutely not. It would be pretty wonderful.
As you guys finish this conversation, you kind of round, and there's a couple of things you notice when you're making your way around the side of the outside of the temple. Another building comes into view. There is a beautiful tower separate to the spa itself, not the ruined building that you've been informed of, but to the side there is this kind of tall, almost like a wizard's tower, made from the same white marble stone with ivy trellises kind of spilling down from the window tops, a kind of pointed slate roof. Very, very elegantly kept. There are some elven statues, almost like kind of beautiful elven dryads on either side of the doorway and things like that, kind of stationed around. But it seems to be sealed up. You're not sure what it is or what it's for. But making your way past that, you come to a crumbling stone building that once must have been a beautiful shrine. You can see that there are engraved images of the same fire-haired woman of Sunni still visible in the moss-covered stones. Her face is gazing down on you, where the faithful would have approached. She would have been looking down on as she arrived. The stone doors at the front of the shrine appear to have been sealed shut, as are all of the windows. A mixture of wooden boards, but also a strange thick resin, almost like an amber, has been sort of coated and pasted over all of these entrances. There is still a faint inscription visible above the doorway, which reads, "Welcome, dearest ones. Come find the beauty within you," is what it reads. But yeah, the whole place is very tragic. It looks, kind of really worn down. You can see that there might be the ceiling has like caved in sections and things like that. All of the windows and doors have been sealed up by these boards and resin. It looks a little bit not frightening, but a bit intimidating in the loom of the shadows of twilight as well, as it's beginning to kind of settle down.
Azara, who had to take off her belt but would probably still keep a necklace of Airdrie on her, will kind of like place a hand to her necklace and just, this is so sad. A goddess's temple should never be disrespected like this.
Do you want to go inside?
Agnes! Rebellious.
I mean, no one said I can't.
Azara will kind of smile a little bit and she'll go, I don't know what it is about being on vacation, but to hell with the rules. And she'll kind of like scamper forward.
We're being like, oh, such rebellious teenagers. They're going to climb into this ruined temple.
Right, we're going to go ruin exploring at the spa.
Yeah.
Okay. The temple itself is quite a tall building. There might be some holes in the roof that you could climb in through, but that's like a 30 feet, like you're having to climb up pretty high. Like these are tall, high walls on either side. And then to get up onto the peak of the ceiling as well. So this would be a difficult climb, to climb up. There's not too many handholds. if you want to try and get in otherwise. You might be able to like peer in through the windows. Like they do have like these boards and this resin, but it does seem like some of it's semi-opaque. Like you might be able to peer through. But getting inside, yeah, it looks kind of tricky. What would you guys like to do?
Can I use my awesome observant perception to find like the best route to give us advantage?
The best route is there appears to be a hole in the roof at the very apex where the kind of like peaked roof is, and it's high up. Like it's
I mean like here's the wall, right? And there's like very few handholds. But like if I'm super observant, can I be like, okay, if I went this way and then that way, like can I get just advantage on the roll?
The observant feat in some ways is the CSI crime reconstitution ability. There's definitely a way in. I don't know if it's going to be enough to give you advantage, but it's going to allow you to make the check. Because if you didn't have that, there's just it's like trying to climb up flat walls.
Sure.
Without a kit, you wouldn't be able to do it. But I would say that with Agnis kind of being like, oh, actually, okay, that rock's a little bit loose, and there's a little bit of what that looks like a little piece of like maybe an old gargoyle, or like maybe not a gargoyle, but like a little ornamental stone figure that's broken off. Maybe you could use that. There's definitely a path, but this is a tough climb.
All right.
How can I take other people with me in a Misty Step?
I can't remember. Let's have a look. I don't believe so. I believe. Yeah, I don't believe you can, but I'll have a look. Or if you surround yourself, you teleport. No, it's just you.
Well, while Agnis is kind of like muttering to herself, Azara will tap her on the shoulder and be like, couldn't Candor help you out with this? And then she'll Misty Step to the top of the roof.
Yeah, because Misty Step is 30 feet, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, you can Misty Step to the side. When you arrive, you're going to need to make me an acrobatics check to keep your balance, Azara, because this is like a sloped roof, the crumbling stone. Yeah. You teleport up there and your foot is already beginning to loosen rocks around where the hole is.
18.
You just managed to keep your balance, but only just.
Oh.
Like you are just about keeping yourself balanced, and you can feel like any shift in your weight, the wooden beams are all rotten and sodden through. Like weather has completely demolished this roof. This could collapse any second.
Azara will say, actually, hold that thought. Let me go in and see if there's a safer way. And I'm going to use my other Misty Step charge to do it. Can I see the floor?
You do.
I won't go in.
Okay, Agnis, meanwhile.
You said I could see through the amber?
Maybe.
Of the window?
Yeah, I'd say that like it's blurry, but you can vaguely see inside it, yeah.
So when Azara does that and she's looking all cool, I'll summon Candor at her suggestion, and then peer in the window and fiery teleportation into the place.
So you'd summon Candor, send Candor up through the hole in the ceiling inside.
No,
and then
he teleports. The way I always understood it is I'm with Candor. I see a place and I'm like, let's go there, and I go poof poof.
Right. Okay. Let me have a read, because I'm still getting used to the fiery teleportation. Fire spirit is a very thing that I never remember how it works.
The spirit and each willing creature of your choice within 5 feet of it teleport up to 15 feet to unoccupied spaces
you can see. Okay, yeah. In that case, yeah, you can just go from where you are to, and then each creature within 5 feet of the space that the spirit left must succeed. There's no creatures nearby, but we do get like a whoosh, and some of the grass and things like that is scorched as candle.
I would stand back from the boards on the window.
Okay, sure.
Make sure.
And then Azara, you're going to teleport Misty Step down from the roof to the scene. Okay, all right. Nighttime is beginning to set in, and the shadows are creating this place. Your dark visions are beginning to kick in now, draining the color out of the environment around you as nighttime begins to fall. You can see stars overhead, but there's a thick canopy of trees all around you as well. The interior of the shrine has the appearance of having been abandoned after some sort of terrible confrontation years ago. Broken benches with shredded cushions are overgrown by thick fungus, and 4 large mirrors hanging on the walls have long since been shattered, leaving the stone floor covered in shards of broken glass. At the far end, away from the door, there appears to be a large, grime-encrusted statue of Sunni against the far wall. The statue's expression might once have suggested smiling or laughter, but now streaks of dirt make it appear as though she is weeping. Behind the statue, a staircase descends into the darkness.
Dare you to go down there.
I just need to get my dice for something.
Hate that.
Me. Just before you guys do anything else, just give me 1 second here. Just a minute. Just, a little old second for me.
Nothing horrible or anything.
Nothing's
going on.
Don't worry about it. You know what, though? Just...
Do I look worried?
No.
Not worried. Not worried.
Oh, interesting. Okay. So you say, I dare you go down.
Mm-hmm.
Azara looks like a little uneasy, because she remembers what happened with the other terrifying temple place in the Shadowfell. She kind of touches her necklace to see if it feels cold or anything.
As a point as well, you guys are in your spa robes. You don't have any of your equipment or armor or anything like that. You guys were in your spa robes and you came straight here.
Yeah, we were.
Huh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, we were.
So just AC and things like that, that's going to need to be adjusted. And you don't have any weapons.
Yeah, we were.
Good thing this is an empty ruin with nothing in it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Does Azara's necklace feel cold or any sense of warning?
I mean, I think that, being just a cleric in general, you get an immediate sense, Azara, as soon as you step into this place has been abandoned by the goddess that once looked over it. And there is deep anguish and sadness attached to this place. As you look around, the broken mirrors are just haunting in a place that is dedicated to the goddess of Sunni. Sunni often, like, her temples are covered in mirrors so that people can look in there and find something about themselves, and and to see them all broken, to see it all just in grime. And then this statue of this beautiful goddess and just weeps, this black tears coming down a stony visage is unsettling.
Azara will grip her necklace a little tighter and kind of like get stone faced, like as Agnis is like, I dare you to go down there. Azara's like, have candor, take us out of here. Take us out of here now.
Okay.
You say that as Azara says that, and you're sort of like looking around from deep below, you hear this horrid, painful, sorrowful scream. And then
and then we're just outside the window, like clutching each other.
Yeah, just like
that was
so. Drinks back at the lounge.
That was so cool. We almost died.
Azara's kind of like muttering to herself. She's like, I'm going to lose my job. I'm going to lose my job. Miss Crownsilver almost died. I'm going to lose my job.
Yeah.
Agnis is just like fear laughing, when it's like you don't know what to do, so you're laughing.
Yeah, I think Clive and Tarkhal, you guys are in the baths, which you can see this faint ruin outside, and you see like a bright flash of fire, and then a few seconds later, there is this very faint. Tarkhal's probably the only one who hears this. You hear this faint scream, like it's coming from this temple, like it's muffled and distant, but you do hear like a scream and then another flash of fire.
Did Tarkhal hear anything about this temple though?
Nope.
No. So he probably just honestly squints, looks out.
What was that?
Shakes his head and then just sinks back into the water.
Just floats.
Yeah.
You guys make your way back into the lounge.
But before we go back in, I like collect ourselves just so it looks like nothing happened, and we're just like, oh, it's just a lovely walk, just a jaunt, just a
lovely jaunt.
Yeah.
Agnis, when you are making your way back, you pass that long, tall tower that you passed before. You're not. This is one of those things where you genuinely aren't sure whether this is the fear of what just happened in the temple throwing you off. But you could swear that one of the statues, the elven statues around the door of this tower, it's like it's looking ever so slightly in a different direction. But it's one of those things where you're like, man, I think that the ruins just really freaked me out.
It's probably the fear talking.
Yeah, you
I'm
can't like
punch drunk.
you've noticed it, but you're like, did I imagine that? I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe you might not have, but
I'm like just kind of giddy, and I'm like, and then and the scream, and
When we walk
Yeah.
into the door, Azara's like, shh, like, don't,
sure.
we didn't.
When you walk past Seth, it's like, is everything all right?
Everything is just fine. We had a lovely eventless walk.
eventless.
And we would love 4 glasses of wine delivered to the
Each.
lounge each at your
I
greatest
will-
convenience.
I will make sure that happens, my dear ladies. If it suits you as well, Lady Morgana has informed me that you will be staying the evening. Would you like me to have your belongings taken to your rooms? Save you the trouble.
That'd be nice. Thank
That would
you.
be wonderful.
Of course.
And can we make it 5, if you don't mind? 5.
Yes, I will have to charge. There will be a slight charge for the drinks. I'm afraid Lady Morgana has waived the room, but not the. It is not a free bar, I'm afraid. But it would be for 4 or 5 glasses of wine each. Let us say a total of 3 gold.
Azara will put down 5 and give him a look like this didn't happen.
How about I just leave 2 bottles of our finest?
Oh, my good man.
Yes. And Seth accompanies with you. He goes behind the bar himself with like a flourish. He like examines the bottles, kind of like, yes, this one's good, and places it down, places the next one down. And yeah, he kind of takes on the role of sort of barman for the evening now that everything seems to calm down. He kind of smiles and kind of happily opens the bottles for you, begins telling you about their vintage. They're apparently from Arm or some such, or Calisham or something like that. Begins telling you all about them and things like that. And then, yeah, Tarkhal and Clive are very... Does Clive dry off before he comes back in the bar? Or is it just like a cat's been in the bathtub? Like it's all just pasted to him?
Weird, like, animal that is wet that now looks like a different being.
Like a drowned rat.
Yeah, it just kind of
Except
comes in like sopping wet.
Except Clive's like pretty jacked, so... I guess it just looks like this weird, wet-haired man.
Yeah, like a muscly bodybuilder. Yeah.
By the time they get back, are we already a few glasses in? Because I feel like maybe there was some girl time before they got back.
Yes, and in fact, as you guys have been a few glasses in and you've come back, you'll also notice Alyssa, who you haven't seen all day, has emerged and has like got like a full face mask on. Like she's got like covered in cream. She's had like her nails done. She has the which one would she have gotten done? She's got like a bright midnight blue night sky polish with stars across her nails. And she's had that done. She looks very pampered, and she also she's sort of limping a little bit. And she kind of is like holding her arms out in a weird way. And when she sits down next to you, you notice like all of her arms are like incredibly smooth, like she's been waxed. And she just is like looking very uncomfortable when she sits down. Is like, is that some wine, Lady Crownsilver?
Yes, it is.
Please
wine.
May I have some?
Yeah.
I rejoined like everybody, right? Like that's where I
Yeah,
went
and
back.
then you come like
Oh, okay.
everyone sort of comes in together.
So when I show up, I dry off there just by shaking excessively.
Yeah, there's a bit of a kerfuffle as you definitely get sort of wet everywhere. Several of the attendants are just like, they hate Clive. You can tell that they look at Clive and they hate him. They get like mops out and they start mopping up and like drying off chairs and things like that, just glaring at him. You do, when you shake off Clive, you noticed him when you first came in, but sat at one of these tables. You've not seen him move all day, but when you shake, you get water onto his table. There's this little gnome, and he appears to have been working on some sort of clockwork device, and he just jumps up. He's like, No, I cannot get the suction marvel wet. You don't understand. It's going to ruin the suction of it. I need to dry this quickly. You bring me drying things. Oh, and he starts like fussing over his little invention that he's been working on.
All right.
Azara's like, Clive, you must apologize. She's kind of like wavering a little bit.
All right. I'll go over to his table and just very happily slam my hands down.
Ah,
I have
hello?
excellent news for you, lad.
Yes? Yes,
I'm
excellent
sorry.
news. You're a buyer. You're looking to buy.
No, I apologize.
Well, that can't... Oh.
Have a good one,
What
then.
for?
I'll just turn around, leave.
Okay. So you're not here to buy? You're not interested in my cleaner return?
Return to Azara. How was that?
Oh, okay.
Clive, he's clearly trying to start a conversation. The kind thing would be to engage, ask him what he's doing, and she's like knocks back more.
I'm on it. I turn around. I slam my hands down again. Just, what are you?
Sorry? Oh, you're very big and very loud, but I suppose I'm small and quite loud. I'm building. Not building. I'm perfecting. I am perfecting my wondrous device, a Berry Bell special.
Great. Thank you.
Yes.
And I'll leave.
Would you like to see it in action?
Nope. He just leaves.
Okay.
He is building something.
Someone will one day.
Clive, do you hear how sad he is? Ask him to show you.
Listen to Zara. She's the one that knows what to do. We're all stupid. She knows what to do.
Zara's like, shh, you're not stupid.
I'm stupid.
Clearly, you are much more adept at social skills than I am. So I will go over there and I will continue to let him talk words at me.
You got this, Clive. This is like a battle, except the battle is social. You must win it.
Whoa!
Hey, I will defeat the little one
No, don't defeat him.
in glorious conversation.
Oh yeah. Azara just
think-
keeps drinking.
During all of this, Alyssa looks over at Tarkhal, and Alyssa has got one of the bottles of wine that she's taken from the other two, and then pours a big glass out for Tarkhal as well, and then pours herself a big glass.
Good.
Yeah.
Not too. I need some. Not
go-
too much.
I'll go back.
Alyssa just passes the bottle to Tarkhal like, I'm not giving her anymore, but if you want to, you can.
Yeah, I'll hold the bottle and I'll hold my glass and I'll just say, let me at least catch up and I'll
I'm
drink some
your
wine.
brother. I'm gonna catch up.
Oh, this is much less tolerable when I'm not drunk and I'll start drinking.
Exactly my thoughts. And then Alyssa downs a glass. Meanwhile, Clive goes over to the little gnome.
Go back to saying words.
Yes, you are very strange, but I'm very happy to have an active listener and customer. First of all, hello. My name is Rendon Berrybell. What's your name?
Clive of the Wild Mane. Next question.
Well, it's less of a well, actually, I suppose I should work on my sales pitch. Clive of the Wildmane, do you suffer from dusty floors and cobwebs in your corners?
No.
Do you sometimes find dirt and mud accumulates wherever you go?
I want it there.
Well, then you should invest in the Berrybell Cleanatron. And he brings out what appears to be a large leather sack with a tube on the end and then a sort of flat disc at the end of the tube. And he points it and he goes, "Marvel in wonder at the Cleanatron." And he presses a little rune on the thing and it begins sucking air. And he begins running it over and he runs it over Clive. And it begins like sucking like the fur down and sort of running it over your body.
incredible.
Yes, he turns it off. These will be a marvel, a wonder of every home across the Sword Coast and Faerun. You should be the first to buy and marvel at the Berry Bell Cleanatron.
I will do such a thing.
Oh, a sale! A sale! I've made a sale! Yes, indeed you should. They are. It's 100 gold. But it has a lifetime guarantee. It will work for a lifetime. And I could give you one now for 100 gold.
Clave of the Wild Mane does not deal in currency, at least not of the gold type.
Could you get some?
Tarkhal!
Clive? And I take another giant. I pour the rest of the bottle in my glass. I'm imagining those big glasses. Oh, you have
Alyssa
gold. Just
waves
get
over
another
Saith
bottle.
and gets another bottle. Yeah.
I'm in need of 100 gold.
100
Defeat
gold.
this little one in conversation.
You have to pay him to win. You pay to win.
Aye,
I don't much care for those kind of games.
I don't much care for losing.
My good sir, your friend here has agreed to be an investor, the first of many satisfied customers.
Don't talk to him. You're faced with me.
You should tell your friend that you are going to be an early investor in a wonder, a new breakthrough in technology.
I'm investing in tech.
Oh,
My God.
is the tech? Is this your field of expertise in the Feywild? Clive?
Don't die,
It
because
is
then
not-
you'll be an angel investor. That's Silicon Valley joke.
I don't get it, but I've paid once, and I don't intend to do it again.
Where are you from? And I look at this little man.
Well, I'm not allowed to talk to your friend, apparently. So do I answer through you, Mr. Lion Man?
Where are you from?
I'm from the city of Waterdeep.
It's from the city of Waterdeep.
Do you want to move to Eveningstar?
Do you want to move to Eveningstar?
Where is Eveningstar?
Where is that?
Come here. How do you not know, Clive?
Yes, not me. Cormir.
Cormir, the land of dragons, the Dragon Knights. Are there many opportunities for tinkerers and people that make cleaning devices? Do you have many floors to sweep and castles to clean?
We have so many floors.
We have a castle.
We
There's
have
a lot of
castles
floors.
and floors.
Nobility
We also
would be a
could
suitable.
We could employ a
advertisement.
tinkerer, and then really loudly Azara's like, Agnis,
Yeah,
employ a tinkerer.
Clive. Does he want a job?
Are you seeking employment, lad?
Well, I'm sort of more of a freelancer, really, a self-employed, self-made gnome, I guess. But I certainly wouldn't pass up the opportunity. Yeah.
Does he wanna?
Yes.
He could have a shop in the town.
Good sir, would you like your own shop?
Am I talking to them or to you? I don't know.
They're offering you a shop.
Well, a shop. Yes, that would be better than roaming around as a traveling tinkerer. Yes.
That's our
I
new
will-
best friend.
I will. Let me think on it. Let me sleep on it. And why don't until tomorrow? You can borrow my cleanatron, and then you can see if that is worthy of investment. But only till tomorrow.
I have a bad feeling that if we borrow that, it won't look like that in the morning.
Hey, it's a deal
but
then.
vigorous testing is very important in the field of tinkering.
Okay.
I hold the thing up. Clave of the Wild Mane.
Azara's like, yeah!
Clive, I will, for next week, you will have a common magic item called the Berry Bell Cleanatron, which is a magical vacuum cleaner. And you may have that as a magic item next week.
All he knows is that he won this social.
But it's kind of like a bagpipes. Like it looks like a bagpipe, but with like a Hoover end, like a vacuum cleaner end. So he could easily be like playing it as well.
Great.
I hope that this becomes Clive's new weapon of choice.
Oh my god.
Probably.
Just swinging it around.
Or if we encounter a ghost, it'll be like Gooigi.
Gooigi, yeah. Makes sense. I will happily, for the next sort of 10, 15 minutes of this episode, if you guys just want to have drunken shenanigans, you are more than welcome to. Or we can just cut to you guys going to your rooms.
Yeah.
Oh,
Answered question.
Sorry. Yeah.
I need to tell you something. Because
I'm
you
listening.
were like, Agnes, can we come back here sometimes? And I was like, yeah, obviously. But like, here's the thing. You don't need to ask my permission. You get to make this decision.
No.
You can make your
No. Shh. She like holds her face.
No, because I'm not the boss of you. You're the. I'll hold her face. You're the boss of you.
But you got, and she got this crown, silver
No,
crown.
I don't want the crown. She's trying to brush off an imaginary crown. I don't want it. You wear it.
And Azara like starts crying. She's like, you can't.
You can't. You can't wear it. It's you. I want you to wear it.
You guys are doing too good a job of being LA wasted, and it's too frighteningly accurate for me. I can't deal with it. This descends.
These
Anybody
are real
else
tears
watching?
in my eyes.
Yeah, this is what this descends into, and it just becomes unintelligible.
Am I able to turn on the vacuum?
I mean, yeah, you turn it on, and the rough rules I was thinking, I haven't fully spec'd it out, is something like objects within like a 10-foot radius are slowly pulled towards you, but it starts with small objects, and then it pulls in like smaller objects.
I think it would just
wonderful.
like start up, and I'd look at Tarkhal and just kind of on his face, and just hold it there.
This is what we're paying 100 gold for.
Worth it.
Could you turn it off? Turn it off?
I haven't gotten that far.
Well, you turned it on, so you know you can turn it off.
Hey, one step at a time.
I mean, Tarkhal, you can pull yourself away from it. The suction
not
isn't
that
that
strong?
No.
Okay.
You can just sort of. It's
Okay.
like a red mark on your face, but. Alyssa kind of is watching all of this and is just sort of like rubbing her temple and is trying to quickly drink as much wine as she can without ruining this face mask that she's had put on. Probably being an orc, it's like a blue face mask because otherwise it would look too weird against green skin. But yeah, you guys can enjoy a wonderful evening and you have rooms available as and when.
I think eventually Azara would like start to realize she's going to pass out soon, and we'll,
Yeah,
like,
you can't
shuffle.
walk back to the room. Azara and Agnis is like somebody's gonna need to carry you guys.
Then Azara would like,
Kander!
oh no! Azara would be like,
Lady
"No,
Crownsilver,
no,
I
no,
really
no."
don't think that's a good idea. Let's not
Fine. It's fine. It's
remember
Kander
the
just
bridge.
came.
Agnis, please remember the bridge.
Oh. Okay.
Then Azara
You
will
just-
like fall onto Alyssa's shoulders and be like, "Can you carry us?"
I can carry one of you. Yes.
Oh, you should carry Azara for no reason.
Azara will be like, "Shh,
Yes.
I can go second if I need to," and she'll try and like primp her robe.
Alyssa, bright red, just like perhaps Clive or Tarkhal could carry Agnis. I will. He's away. He's just like sweeping up and like finding little things to vacuum around.
Agnes's hair is like in the vacuum. Like
Oh, sorry.
There's like bits of dirt still stuck in it and stuff.
It's fine.
Alyssa will fireman's carry. This is not the bodyguard carry. It's just like up on the shoulder, like holding you as steady as she can so you don't throw up. Will escort you to a room.
Azara's like, my hero.
You can see that, like, yeah, there's a pained expression, but there's also a kind of half smile at the same time as Alyssa carries you up, and then has the shocking realization of like, these are all double beds, and she doesn't know how many rooms you have, and it's just like, oh god, what do I do? And that's and then yeah, Azara's probably just asleep on the bed.
Oh yeah, she's gone.
And then I think in a very sort of like Alyssa's looking around, she takes like one cushion and like finds like a thing to lay on the floor and just like curls up in a chair and goes to sleep in a chair instead. Meanwhile, the others are taking a bed. When you guys eventually do bed down for the night, you have like a scattering of rooms and things like that. Tarkhal and Clive hadn't drunk, and Agnis is far too gone to really notice any sort of effects going on. Late at night, sort of in the very early hours, maybe because Tarkhal, you're in the sort of half-elven trance, you become aware of like a faint metal tapping and scratching noise coming from out in the corridor of these rooms. Like there is like an upstairs area or like a back area where there are the selection of rooms. And yeah, you can hear like a faint sort of like tap, 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 scrape, 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 scrape.
It's like keeping me up.
It's not keeping you up, but it definitely, you woke up, and that, I guess, because especially like Tarkhal is used to surviving in the wilds and like hearing noises, I think you'd probably be quite sort of like alert and awake of that. Also the assassin's training, I think, like where you've trained to be quiet and things like that. You become aware of it, and it's in your mind that there is something out there doing something.
Okay. I think Tarkhal would actually end up peeking outside his room.
Sure. Are you going to do it stealthily? Like
yeah, a little stealth creek.
Sure, make a stealth check for me. You still have advantage. You have that's 24 hours the massage lasts.
Okay. So that's a 23 and then a 27.
27, okay. Okay. You peek your head out, Tarkhal. Just kind of creaking the door, just slightly giving it a slight peeking crack as you look out and into the darkness. Your dark vision kicks in, and you see perched in front of another one of the guest rooms. You're not sure which. You can't remember where Alyssa and Azara went and, you know, who's in what. But you see a tiny white-scaled kobold just doing something to one of the doors. Like you can see them sort of like fiddling and like tapping and playing with it. Or like to you from this angle, it looks like they're trying to pick the lock.
I wasn't given any instruction on how to get an attendant. I think I'm just gonna watch.
Well, this is also just like 3-4 in the morning, so it's pitch black.
I'm just gonna watch.
Attendants. Okay. Okay. Yeah, you watch. About 5 minutes passes, which is way too long to be picking a lock. Like Tarkhal would know that. You've picked many locks in your time. Normally it's a few seconds, or maybe if you're not very good, a minute or two. But after about 5 minutes, you notice that the kobold steps away, and the tools they're holding are actually like a file and like a little kind of device to fix the door. You can see that they've just finished like fixing the door handle, and they turn around, but they look really depressed. Like they look around, they've just got like a slump in their shoulders. And they kind of just like stump back, and then they move down the corridor, and they find like a kind of display cabinet. One of the side edges has been like bumped or nicked, and they start fixing that as well, kind of like making slight adjustments to try and fix it. Like they're doing little odd jobs around the corridor, but they're doing it late at night. And they haven't noticed you.
Yeah, I think that since they don't seem to be doing anything wrong, I'm going to go out and talk to them.
Okay. has no idea you're there. So the second you like cough or speak or anything, they jump like 3 feet in the air. Their little cobbletoe. You can see that they're actually wearing like a little patchwork dress, like a kind of like almost like it's been made out of like different kids' outfits and like stitched together. But it looks grotty and grubby and not well cared for, which is really out of place here in the spa. Like everybody's been so immaculately dressed. They kind of look at you with great big wide eyes and they just freeze. They're just like stunned.
You don't seem very happy.
He's like looking around, like they're looking for somebody. He's like, I'm not. I shouldn't be talking. I shouldn't be talking to you. I shouldn't be talking to you. If they find out, I'm gonna be in a lot of trouble. Oh,
do you have to be here? Are you forced to be here?
What? Yeah. Forced. Yeah, I'm forced. No, I shouldn't be talking to you. I'm gonna get in trouble. I'm gonna get in so much trouble if they find out. Saz is gonna. Oh, she'll make me suffer just like the others. I need to go. I need to go. You shouldn't stay here. And the little kobold is just gonna try and leave.
I guess I would just let him.
Okay.
It's 3 a.m.
Yeah, they just scamper off. They do look round at you, kind of cock their head, looking at you strangely, and then they just probably say the last thing like, "Don't tell them that you spoke to me," and then they whip away.
Weird. Right. I'll go back to my room.
And then you go to sleep. Well, you all get a long rest, and that is where we will finish off this episode of Knights of Eveningstar.
That
was a fun one.
It was so fun.
I love that, like,
are in the background.
Yeah.
I know. I love that we ended last season with like Shadowfell, epic battles, big math, and then like this season so far has been like, what spa services would you like? How does it feel? What?
Here's Clive with a vacuum cleaner. You know, what things would you like to change about yourself? Here's a little bit of gaslighting. Yeah.
Oof.
Oof,
yep.
Indeed.
Oof, indeed. Yep. That's very, very kind of one of the things in this adventure.
That conversation reminded me a lot of agency casting rooms. I was like, oh, God.
I have a feeling that a lot of people, when they play through this adventure, if they're watching this, some of the NPCs' behaviors are going to probably be like, oof, yeah, that reminds me of somebody I really wish I didn't know. But yeah, fun episode. Excellent job, everybody. Wonderful bits of RP and silly fun nonsense. Always the best parts of D&D, I feel.
And definitely not a cursed haunted temple. That didn't happen. No.
When you guys said you wanted to go in, I was so happy. I was just like, yes. I love it. Exciting.
Listen, we can always go back. Just, with a higher armor class.
Right.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, you could also just go and ask about it, find out more about it. You know, you've got Sayeth's story, but yeah, cool. Yeah. Anything from anybody else, or should we just do some shout outs?
Let's do shout outs.
Let's do shout outs.
All right, Anna, go first.
Wow. Won't you be amazed if you check out cantripbrand.com, your home for fantasy inspired TTRPG adjacent streetwear. You will be Cantrip. Wear with confidence, cast at will. My name is Anna Prosser. You can find me at Anna Prosser anywhere on social media. Mica.
Cantrip brand.
This episode has made us all so loopy.
I know. I forgot that I'm not really drunk.
Right? My name is Mica Burton. You can find me at Mica Burton. You can find my dog at Rainy Wildshape. There she is right there. Hi, Rainy. But you can find my horse adventures at Mica Strides on Instagram. I ride horses now, and my horse's name is X-Man, and he likes to eat wood. I'm gonna tag Shady.
Hi guys, I'm Shady. I do not eat wood. You can find me at twitter.com/ShadyPenguinn and twitch.tv/ShadyPenguinn. The wine's just kicking in for me now. I'm gonna tag Nate.
Clip.
Oh boy. Hello, cantripbrand.com. NateWantsToBattle.com/tour. Going on tour, do that, and follow me on Spotify, because that is the only place where algorithms don't want me to be sad. Mark.
Thanks. We don't want Nate to be sad. Go check out
No.
Nate and listen to his music. You can check out most of my stuff. You can find me most places on the internet, Sherlock_Hulmes. Twitter is the main place. I'm very busy at the minute. I got a lot of projects going on. But you can also check out, I sometimes do Twitch streams where I'm mainly just building and painting Warhammer, like the nerd I am. But the main thing you can watch is if you like seeing me do D&D stuff, come and check out my show, High Rollers D&D. We've been doing it 5 years. It's a lot of work. It's like my baby. It's my precious, precious baby. Come and watch that. It's with me and all my buds. We play in UK time. But for you guys in the US, especially if you're Pacific, it's 9 a.m. on a Sunday. What a perfect way to start your Sunday. There are a bunch of wonderful British people in extremely stressful, high-level D&D adventures, because that's what we're going through right now. They're literally facing off against demigods and super powerful sorceresses and pit fiends and planetars, and it's madness at the minute. So come and check that out. High Rollers D&D on Twitch and Twitter, podcast, and YouTube. Come and check all that stuff out. And then don't forget to keep coming back for more Knights of Eveningstar as we play through my adventure in Candlekeep Mysteries, The Price of Beauty. With some changes, I'm going to be making some changes, especially in now that we've kind of got the initial spa stuff out of the way. I'm going to be making some changes. So, but yeah, come check that out. That's it from me. Anything else? If not, we will say goodbye. In that case,